Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros MLB. This is Leading Off Live. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pizzapia. With me, of course, is the Welsh, and it's all of you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, here live on our Twitch, twitch.tv/FantasyPros. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching on demand, Fantasy Pros MLB. Yeah, and we've got a jam-packed day of baseball, more impactful injuries, big pitcher names are hurt, we've got closer situations to talk about, we've got it all. But Welsh, I got to start off with maybe the most exciting 0 for 5 I've ever seen. Jac Caglianone made his debut. He went hitless, but my God, did he hit the ball hard all over the place. Oh, the 22-year-old prospect had an average EV of 98.4. He hit a ball 112. He hit a ball 113. I got to watch all his at-bats, and it was super fun. And it was, again, just slightly depressing because his family was all there, and I wanted just one of those to go in and just find grass. It did not, but man, oh man, it looks like the Royals found themselves a true power hitter.
Yeah, it's one of those where like he can go 0 for 5 and people can be like, I'm not as worried as maybe I should have been, because everybody panics and freaks out too much. But 4 of his 5 at-bats, he registered a hard hit, 95 miles per hour or higher. You mentioned in that game, he had the 2 hardest hit balls. By the way, the first one, everybody in the world thought he was getting a double, if not a homer, and Victor Scott gets it. But then he smashes one to Nolan Arenado. I mean, 2 crazy good defenders. There's some bad luck in that, but I thought he looked good. I loved everything about it. They placed him at 6. You know, the only thing that threw me off, did you see the thing with the guy from CBS who was like, this is the biggest mistake a team has ever made in bringing Caglianone up? And I think it might have been based around roster manipulation and stuff like that, but just the hot takes on bringing it back to rejuvenate.
I saw, it's funny. He shall remain nameless, but a baseball analyst personality on television, I'm not going to say who, said one of the dumbest things ever, which was, all these expected ERAs and all this stuff, that doesn't mean a guy's going to be worse. It means a guy's doing better despite the fact baseball is hard. I'm like, no, you moron. That's literally the opposite of what all these numbers mean. And that is quite possibly the dumbest thing. And I can't believe this is an ex-player, nonetheless, saying this on air. And I just wanted to I just wanted to crawl under the blanket and not come out. But I did. I came out here for this show today. I also wanted to crawl under the blanket after Sandy Alcantara's start. Maybe just peek out. I don't know. I don't know if this reached our meh threshold or not. So it was his best outing probably all year, but it was against the Rockies. Now, the Rockies did win the first series they've won, I don't know, since 1997, maybe. I don't know.
Feels like it.
But look, it's the Rockies. So grain of salt is what it is. 1 walk, struck out 4, 6 innings. So I don't know if you saw the highlights. I don't know if you just watched part of the start. What did you think about Sandy? Is it safe to go out there and start him again, or are you still waiting?
I don't know if it's safe to start him. That's a bigger question. I mean, I think this gave him a little bit more latitude. Like, you could feel a little bit better. You're supposed to be good against a team like this. Negatively, he only had 8 whiffs in this start. Interestingly, he threw his changeup the least of any of his pitches. I mean, this is a guy that lives and dies off of that changeup. It has not been as effective this year, and he threw it only 14% of the time. Maybe that's going to be a new piece. Maybe strikeouts are not going to be 100% in tow for him, but I'm very interested to see as far as the usage goes. He was heavy sinker, curveball, slider, but I think we can maybe trust Sandy. Maybe.
Who's the next start against, Welsh? That would be coming up, Sunday, right?
Yeah. I don't know who it would be, though.
I think we talked about this. Why did I feel like we just talked about? Oh, the Pirates are Monday, Tuesday. That's when Yuri Perez is going.
I'm about to say, that's a dream setup. Go from the Rockies to the Pirates.
Yeah, it would be, but I don't think we're going to get that lucky. I think there's somebody in between. It's the Rays, and it's in Tampa. So I don't know how you feel about that start.
I think you could be okay. Like, I mean, the big thing with Sandy, as I'm looking here, the whiffs and the inability to get strikeouts to me is what stands out. One thing I want to look at real quick with him is pitch mix. Yeah. So this is the thing to watch. His second most used pitch, I guess it's 3 now. Maybe after the start, I didn't want to say it yet, but his third most used pitch is his changeup, 23% of the time. Sinker is now 24. I'll bet that flipped after this game because he threw his sinker more than any other pitch. The point of this is that he dipped down, almost not scrapping, but dropping down that changeup to the least used pitch. That's the thing that gets him out. That he had a 30% whiff rate on it last year, 8%, or I'm sorry, 33% this year, and he had a 30% last year, and he's making that the lowest pitch. Is he going to sacrifice trying to strike out guys to just trying to induce weak contact? Maybe that's going to get him right. Maybe that's going to change the focus on him. It's just so tough to say because it's Colorado. They're the worst. But I think that is the start that you could maybe stream.
Yeah, I'm in the maybe column with you. It's got to be. And look, there's been a lot of pitching injuries. We're going to get to them today. Jerry wants to know, Drew Rasmussen is good. I don't understand why they don't let him go past 5 innings. Yeah, he was really good again. Outstanding, one might even say.
Oh, no.
Strikeouts.
I know.
Do you like the nuggets? You ready? You got the dipping sauce ready? I got some nuggets on Drew Rasmussen. So 23 consecutive scoreless innings. He has a 2.14 ERA over that span, a .87 whip, 56 strikeouts to 13 walks in 63 innings. He's the first starting pitcher in American League history to have a 4-start span with a 4-0 record, no runs allowed, 10 or fewer hits, and 3 or fewer walks allowed. How about that for a run for Drew Rasmussen?
Yeah, I'm looking here too. Didn't even realize 5 straight starts without an earned run. He has 1 start where he's given up over 4 earned runs. Kind of looks like Jack Leiter's game log too, by the way. Only 1 bad game in there. It's very interesting. But the strikeouts have kind of been there. But he is coming off of an injury from last season. So I think that that's part of the thing. If you're wondering, like, why doesn't he go deep into games? Like, his efficiency's there. They've got the bullpen. I think he is more than useful. It sucks for your quality start leagues, and that's something to just keep in mind. Quality start leagues are not in play here, but Drew Rasmussen has been a dude. I didn't even think I realized how good he's been.
Am I glitching because the chat again is like
you did? Yeah, you're good. You're good for 1 good glitch every single show, if not 2. Oh, and then he glitched, and then he froze. What an incredible moment! Oh, what an incredible moment! You just you were opining that whole situation, and then you froze.
I know. I said, and then I noticed it glitching for the first time, and I went, all right, there you go.
I thought you were acting. I thought you were acting. You were John Lovitz. You were amazing there. But
brilliant. Thank you. All right. Let's go on here. Bryce Harper came back. He homered, walked twice, so no ill effects from the elbow. That's good news. Ketel Marte, 3 for 3. 2 more homers for him. Hope somebody had him in there. Also, 2 homers for Corbin Carroll. We talked about how the month of May, the counting stats were still there, but the batting average was very low. Maybe a time to buy on him. Maybe that window closed.
I know. I don't know. It's very funny because, like, I wrote in our article, Corbin Carroll. We did the video. I had us put Corbin Carroll in there to talk about it. That had a shelf life of like 6 hours. Yeah, roughly. Like, we put that info out, and I saw that last night, and I was like, well, that's not going to, like, people are going to be like, oh, you guys did it. It's like, no, we got it before, but it's not going to live too long. He got right back in. But this is kind of my point with Carroll. He's had some inconsistencies and stuff, but that change that he's made to his stance, it's allowing him to get to the ball better, and he's able to get out of these things. And it was a good reverse jinx I had on the Diamondbacks yesterday, but Ketel's a monster. Corbin Carroll's buying window went bye-bye, but that was very funny that we barely got any of that good info out there.
Well, also barely good, or maybe just bad, Spencer Strider again. 5 runs, 6 hits. Now, the strikeout rate is there. He's striking guys out, but, Welsh, I could give a pass and you say, okay, his career versus the Nationals. Some guys just have weird numbers against weird teams for whatever reason. But now it's starting to get frustrating. I will say, I'm not a Spencer Strider manager, but I have sent a trade or 2 out there in the Spencer Strider space because I think now's an interesting time to buy, because I think he's just trying to get the feel back. And as you see these guys recover from Tommy John, he also might have been one of these dudes that maybe just pushed a little too quickly and we have to be more patient with. And I don't know what your perspective is on Strider, but I'd love to hear it.
I'm a little bit worried. Eno just had a thing. I was trying to look for it to give some of the notes, but I'm not seeing it. But just go find Eno
like a children's book. Eno just had a thing. By Christopher Welsh.
Yeah, me writing about that would be appropriate. But what he was essentially talking about is like there looks like there is something lost in the Stuff Plus numbers. The Stuff Plus numbers we're seeing a downtick in Spencer Strider. And I think that's a pretty worrisome thing. I don't know if it's long-term, like keeper league dynasty. I'm crazy worried. If anything, I might be there with a buy, but post surgery, there is a loss. And you see it in the fastball velocity. He's down a full mile per hour. He hasn't regained any of the whiff on that. The slider is down almost 2 miles per hour right now. It's still his whiff pitch because it's his second most used. But he's also not throwing his curveball. The stuff isn't the same. It might simply be about him, recapturing some game time and finding himself into the season. But there also might be a total loss at this point. So I guess what I'm getting at is like the Spencer Strider that we have the high expectations of, he might not quite be there this year. Regaining stuff in season for a 2-pitch pitcher who's also not like he's a 2-pitch pitcher that isn't like, all right, let me lean a little bit more into this other stuff. No, he's moving away from it. He threw his curveball 11% of the time last year. He's throwing it 6%. And I guess if I'm looking at numbers, I guess maybe it's like a percentile difference between his changeup and curveball. But the stuff numbers are down on Spencer Strider post-surgery, and it's really hard to understand if it's going to come back up. So I've been with you as like a buy. Maybe he's a little bit more of a sell than we're thinking if he rattles off a couple more.
For any of the returning Tommy John guys, right? Shane McClanahan, Sandy Alcantara, Spencer Strider. Who am I forgetting? Shohei Ohtani hasn't thrown a pitch.
It's no shock the year return from having the surgery, like results are not the best. That's why the post Tommy John bump the season after, like that's probably the time to buy. But there's also the potential they never regain it either.
Speaking of that, Corbin Burnes. How's that for a transition? Elbow apparently inconclusive results. So second opinions. Welsh and I found this out at the same time yesterday, and we were discussing it, and just not too thrilled about it. So we'll just have to wait and see, I guess, and just hold your breath. But I think
they said tomorrow. Yeah, I was actually a lot more optimistic. I was a lot more optimistic about this. Because like there's some info out there that was like maybe it was inflammation and stuff like that. But as soon as like we had gone more than 24 hours from the MRI, and then we get the info that it was inconclusive, and then they're going to go back Thursday. Second, and then the words that using the phrase "second opinion," it is always bad. So now I'm thinking the worst, and I actually thought the worst case was we were going to lose Corbin Burnes until the All-Star break for them to kind of just like regroup and let him rest, because they let him rest. He came back and then he hurt himself. This now really does feel like the second opinion is going to kill him for the year.
Second opinion is the same as your boss making a meeting with you on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, can we talk?
Yeah. Hey, before you leave for the weekend.
Had one of those a couple years ago. So I
those
didn't
TPS
like that
reports ready.
Well.
Junior Caminero, another good day for him, another home run. Tyler Mahle, who was on our sell list, you should go watch that video for the reasons why. He was bad yesterday. So although the Corbin Carroll one bit us in the ass, we were right about Tyler Mahle. So that cancels out.
You just got to watch those videos really quick, apparently. Like we've got a couple that were just
make
right
the trade
on.
right now. Yeah. Do it.
Notifications on YouTube. Please.
Lance McCullers, we said the schedule was good, and we were right. Another good outing for him. 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. I don't know how long it's going to last, but this is the sell high window for McCullers for sure. His value will never be higher if you want to sell him. These last 3 starts have been magical. The matchups have been so favorable. You just have to take that into account. I'm not saying you have to trade him. What I'm saying is you might be able to pull off something you never could have fathomed with all these pitching injuries we're dealing with between Burnes. We're going to get to Lopez later, and there's another Hunter Green back on the IL. So many. It's Jazz Chisholm.
Well, hold on. It's a fair point that you're saying the matchups where he went Athletics in Pittsburgh, the Athletics, and then even maybe to a smaller degree like the Mariners and the Rangers. Rangers underperformed and stuff like that. But I don't know if I want to sell in Lance McCullers. This might be the best time. Maybe I'm wrong about it, but almost a 29% K percentage. The walks, I'm really hoping, are going to start to tick back down, and they have over his last 2 starts. He's only walked 1 in each of them. He's finding himself, but he's another guy coming off of this like injury after injury. I actually think in this world of scary pitchers right now, I feel like Lance could be had for a little bit less than we're thinking, and I actually think I might be kind of a buy on him.
Zangoose. 420 just cheered 100 bits. Thanks, Zangoose. Also, I'm a little annoyed at McCullers because I missed out on him by $1 in my home league. Isn't that the worst when you get outbid by $1? You're just like, ugh. And
And then
I was more aggressive and I scaled it back because I'm like, what am I doing? It's June. It's Lance McCullers. What am I doing? Like,
spend the money. I like to spend it early.
yeah, I know, but I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. We'll see if it works out my favor later on. Jazz Chisholm was back and he had a home run in his return. Good news for the Yankees. Devin Williams got a save, but he did give up a run. Just saying.
That's what he does.
It's what he does. All right, let's talk about some transactions potentially here because Jeff Passan is reporting that the Rays, I guess, are in the market maybe to move Zach Littell, who doesn't have any options left, so that makes a lot of sense. Brandon Lau apparently is getting a lot of attention as well. We know the Red Sox we talked about yesterday, so a lot of sellers in the American League East right now. And speaking of the American League East, the Red Sox optioned Richard Fitz down to AAA, so Dobbins is going to take over that spot. So that's a problem. Again, we don't have the Kaisertrex read for Dick Fitz going down. That would be appropriate, but I do have a Microsoft read, and the Red Sox are today's Chasing Challengers segment. Just like the athletes who push boundaries and redefine what's possible in business, decision makers today are turning challenges into opportunities, and Microsoft meets you where you are with the tools and guidance to say, bring it on with safe, secure AI solutions. So let's talk about the Boston Red Sox for a moment because things are not going well. And it might be time for the Boston Red Sox to maybe look to the future. Get Roman Anthony up here. We've got Marcelo Mayer. We got Christian Campbell. I don't like trading Jarren Duran, but if it's going to bring you back some more pitching help for next year, okay, I'm listening to it. The Red Sox have lost 17 one-run games in 2025, Welsh. I don't know if you realize that.
Yeah, I
That's
saw it
half
yesterday.
their losses, right? They've had the third most runners left on base this season. So it's just not happening for them. Now, they could grin and bear it and hope to make a run in the second half. I just don't know if this rotation is built that way currently, and I just don't know if the clubhouse has that run in them. The Bregman injury certainly hurt them. Apparently, he's coming back quickly, but it might be smart at this point for the Red Sox to say, this is a long-term plan we've got with these kids. Let's get Roman Anthony up here. Jarren Duran's coming off his best season of his career. Maybe a cash in on that. So after 48 hours of thinking about this whole Red Sox, should they stay in it, should they not, maybe it is best to kind of see what the kids have, what else you have to get in the offseason, and retool for 2026, which sucks if you're a Red Sox fan, but unfortunately, sometimes everything that can go wrong just does. And that's this week's Chasing Challenges segment. Remember, Microsoft AI Solutions empower you to take bold steps and new ideas to help drive your business forward. With Microsoft as your trusted partner, you can navigate your journey with confidence, finding innovative solutions and reaching new possibilities. Visit Microsoft.com/challengers to learn more. All right, let's get to some more baseball. Let's do a little fun facts. You like fun facts, Welsh?
Sure. Make it
All
fun.
right. Paul Skeens, last 5 games, 34 innings, 38 strikeouts, 7 walks, 4 earned runs, 0 wins for Paul Skeens. How much does it suck to be Paul Skeens as a Pirate?
Yeah, who was? I just saw something last night that there was someone that was doing this like a couple years ago, where it was just like incredible. Maybe it was DeGrom. Maybe it was DeGrom, where he's getting like these insane starts, no wins, no run support every year. There's a couple guys with it, but it's no shocker. It's Pittsburgh. He's just littering out these incredible starts and getting not a ton of run support, dropping 99-mile-an-hour sinkers and stuff. It's pretty brutal, but
Yeah.
you know, it actually is something. I'll tell you this. I was working on my ranks yesterday, the rest of season, and staring like Tariq Skubal looks like he just has to be number 1. But Garrett Crochet at this point, I guess you could argue with everything you said about the Red Sox, maybe they're not too far off. But Crochet, he's getting wins. It looks like he has a better support of wins. And just on your Red Sox thing, real quick, I might have been premature, but I just did a video for Betting Pros. And I can't quite let go of the Red Sox. And it feels stupid, especially after they just let that start go. But even after everything you said, they're like 5 games out of a wild card right now still. So it's I feel like it's hard for them to sell out when they've got this core.
You can sell out and still sell Duran and bring up Roman Anthony and might not miss a beat.
Oh, I completely agree with that. You could go and get Luis Arraez.
So if there's moves to be made, make the moves and see where it takes you. Maybe the influx and the energy of the young kids does carry this team forward. Look how bad the Mets were last year in June, right? This time last year, the Mets were on death's door. Ever since, they've got the best record in baseball. So, you can't necessarily think it's all going to be doom and gloom unless you're Royce Lewis and you have him on your fantasy team. Last 8 games, 0 for 28. He's hitting 127 over that span with 1 homer in 21 games this season. Gross. Also gross, Michael Harris, the second. So 188, 284, 203. 203 since May. That's the slugging percentage, Welsh. Comments?
Yeah, no, I mean, it hasn't been. We kind of talked about it. I mean, this is like you want validation.
That was amazing. You went, I want a harumph out of that guy. Somebody give me a harumph.
There's kind of a like, well, what are we doing here? Like, if Joey wants validation, you did good, Joe. Good job. Yeah, he's not super great right now. He doesn't look good. He's not a winning
gonna love this. This is a
pick.
throwback to yesteryear. He's not special.
He's
just not special.
No, the 231 average is surprising, but I will say he's got about 40 points higher on his expected batting average, 276.
Oh, that means nothing because I work for Major League Baseball and I'm an analyst. That's all poppycock nerd stuff.
All right. If you had to ride one out, Michael Harris or Jack Leiter.
Oh, Jack Leiter.
Your obsessions, your 2 obsessions to bring up when
ride one out like negative that it's gonna be
positively, like you had to have on your team.
Oh, I'll take Jack Leiter over Michael Harris. Any pitcher in a port right now.
Okay.
Here's a fun one too. Fewest games to 15 home runs and 20 stolen bases. Eric Davis, 40 games in 1987. Ken Williams, 54 games in 1922. Bobby Bonds, not Barry Bonds, in 1973. And Pete Crow Armstrong, 60 games in 2025. Also, Bo Jackson was right under them at 1989. So, yeah, pretty good list there. All right, let's continue on here with the next ones, the 3 ups and the 3 downs. Max Muncy, 2 homers, so he's getting hot again. You just wait long enough, Max Muncy just starts having these double dong games all the time. Trey Turner, 3 for 5. He had 2 homers. And Carlos Rodon, 1 run, 8 strikeouts for him over 7 innings. Who would you rather have rest of season, Rodon or Max Fried?
Ooh, Max Fried. But I was about to say, like, dude, all we ever do is talk about Carlos Rodon on this show, and it's in like a quick pass by. Yeah, no, I mean he's been amazing. It's like, hey, in the 3 ups, and it's like Carlos Rodon's there, 2.49 ERA so far this year, sub 1 WHIP. I mean, I kind of quickly said Max Fried, but it's not to take away from Carlos Rodon, who got his K percentage back. He had 2 straight years of having just like sub to average K numbers. All of a sudden, it's back into that elite range. He looks like that elite strikeout thrower again. ERA is supportive. Stuff looks good. And this is all, he lost a mile per hour on his fastball. And he is still getting this going, trying to see if there's any pitch mix changes. He's just throwing his changeup a bit more. I mean, really, it's just kind of like the same version. He's just way more efficient, looks good. And I don't know. Like, I kind of, Angel just said, I can't trust Rodon. I don't know. We're getting into territory where maybe you can kind of trust Rodon. There's a little bit that screams sell at this high point because of this like a fever pitch of value.
I'm not selling him.
But I don't know, man. He just rattles off games. He had one bad game. He's had one bad game where he gave up.
Like the beginning of the year. Right?
He had 3 starts. He had 3 starts where he gave up a combined 13 runs over the 3. That was against the Diamondbacks, Tigers, and Giants. Mm-hmm. Since then, I don't actually think, hold on, let me do this math. I don't think he's given up all his other starts that many runs. 1, 2, 4, 8, 9, 10. No, so he's given up less earned runs on all starts versus that 3-start stretch he had in April. Yeah. So I don't know. Carlos Rodon's kind of a dude.
Stretch in April is what in our shallow league I dropped him because I was like, there's so many guys on the waiver wire. Why am I mucking around with this Carlos Rodon guy? He's driving me crazy.
Crazy.
I live to regret that decision. Thotimus Prime wants to know, is Barger for real? Well, you should watch the waiver wire video that we're recording later today, and we'll get more into that. That's what we call a tease in the business. The 3 downs. Andre Pallante. First of all, this is like 777s. This is like when you're in Las Vegas and you pull the slot machines, you get all the 7s. Andre Pallante, 7 innings. 6 hits over 4 1/3, 7 runs. Bowden Francis, 7 runs, 6 earned. Michael Lorenzen, 7 runs on 7 hits. Crazy, all the 7s in there. Let's get to the injuries. I got so many DMs and text messages yesterday about
oh my God. This is the most.
I don't know what to do but laugh.
This is the most leading off thing because we have been talking about this guy all season long. We are officially in Groundhog's Day.
it's just sad music for Brandon Woodruff at this point. So he got hit by a ball that was going 1,000 miles an hour off of his elbow.
108 off of his elbow.
I kind of want to laugh. It probably hurt.
His last rehab start, he was about done. Brandon Woodruff, this is the worst
Keep
part.
talking.
Brandon Woodruff is one of the nicest guys on the planet. You're rooting for him. But he's never going to pitch. He did something to somebody. There's a hex on him. We need that hex removed. Is there a witch in the audience? We need to reverse the curse on Brandon Woodruff.
Maybe the kazoo will do it. That's all I know. You know, when you play Celine Dion on the kazoo, My Heart Will Go On from Titanic, for those of you who are unsure what I might be playing. I thought it was pretty clear. I thought it was actually pretty good.
It was pretty good.
It was, I laughed out loud and died inside at the same time. One of our listeners, Dan, sent it to me. He was the first one that sent it. And then it was like the onslaught of people sending it to me. And I just don't know what to say anymore. Now, they say they took him out as a precaution. So the hope is it was uncomfortable, whatever. Maybe this is the scared straight moment, Welsh, where the Brewers just go, all right, enough is enough. We can't keep leaving this guy down there. We got to get him out.
They're going to be like, we took him out for a precaution. He'll need 7 more rehab starts, though, to get right after this. Just put him in the majors. Just put him in the major league. We don't need it. How many more starts does he need to get right? Just do it there. You'll be okay.
Okay.
My God.
All right, let's move on because I don't even know what to say anymore. Pablo Lopez, he exited early yesterday and he's going to undergo an MRI. Welsh. It's my turn. He's going to undergo an MRI on the right shoulder because it's tight. This is not good news, Welsh. I can tell you right now. This is another one that's not good. Bad for the Twins too. Now the winners here, Zebby Matthews and David Festa.
Oh yeah,
because those are the big winners here. So if you have shares of them, you see this news and you go, yeah, these guys are going to stick in the rotation. You don't want anybody to get hurt, but this is a huge boon for those guys because now they can breathe and know that, one bad start, they're probably not going to get sent down because they're going to need all hands on deck in this rotation. He's going to be out for a while, if not the year.
Yeah, this seems like bad news. But Festa,
oh yeah,
because Zebby's already there. Zebby's pitching today, this should bring up David Festa, and I'm kind of here for that. Probably just again like a streamer. I don't know if even Zebby, either one of these guys. I mean, if Zebby starts rattling off, he got out of some trouble in the last start. If he can put down another good one, David Festa would be a pretty decent streamer or speculative ad to see if he can rattle a few. But I am not optimistic. But maybe also it's like the Corbin Burnes stuff and everybody getting hurt. Brandon Woodruff. The sun moving in the wrong way, and he has 3 more starts. Whatever it is, there's something about the pitchers right now. None of it's ever good news. None of it.
I want him to do a full season at AAA at this point. Like I want to just stay on brand. I want him to make 32 starts at AAA and AA this year. Brandon Woodruff just never come up. I just wanted to pitch
in all the levels of the minor league.
And then I wanted to write a book about the year I spent rehabbing.
Yeah,
by Brandon Woodruff.
Is that song "Man with the Hex"? That's just Brandon Woodruff.
Hunter Green might also be that guy. He re-injured his groin. It's such a shame too because he looked sharp yesterday, and then the groin injury came back, so he went immediately back to the IL. So that's terrible news here for fantasy managers. George Kirby, he got hit in the face, but he's okay luckily. Somehow, a scary moment, blood coming out. Now Nolan Ryan would have stayed in the game, but we have lesser athletes nowadays. Just saying. Nolan Ryan pitched with blood on his jersey. Proceeded to
Did he get hit in the face?
Down. He did get it in the face by a ball. I want to say hit by Ricky Henderson. I want to say hit the ball. There you go. Here you go. Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I'm too busy right now hosting the show and doing all this stuff. Find out who hit the ball at Nolan Ryan. It could have even been Bo. I don't know why I was saying it. Bo Jackson.
Laser just said Bo.
Bo Jackson. So, okay. Bo Jackson hit a ball off Nolan Ryan's face, and he stayed in the game and was like, I'm going to spit out the blood on the jersey, and then just said, I'm going to finish the rest of the time. So we can't evaluate George Kirby because he got hit in the face, so don't ask us what we thought of the George Kirby start because we don't know. Jordan Westberg, 1 for 5, working his way back. Colt Reagans is going to be activated tomorrow against the Cardinals. Shane Bieber, let's not hold our breath for more Tommy John guys at this point. His next rehab start's going to be Friday, but whatever. Yuri Perez, we promised you stats yesterday. He allowed 1 run, struck out 4 over 4 1/3 innings. His pitch count was up to 82, and it's good timing because Max Meyer went on the IL with a hip impingement yesterday. So we called that one. It was Meyer Alcantara. Somebody was going to go, and Meyer it is. And Shane McClanahan news could potentially return by late July or early August, which is code for it's not happening this year, folks.
Oh, I don't know. I think he'll pitch on the post All-Star break. I think we'll see him. You want to get some starts in. You want to have something under his belt. I mean, it's an absolute waste, and we're all wrong about McClanahan getting re-hurt and re-energizes the idea of like being more cautious with guys that are coming off of some major injury going into the season and stuff like that for drafts. But I think it would definitely behoove the team to let him get a handful of starts so he's like good for next year.
One of our amazing producers, Seth, named the Brandon Woodruff bio "A Year on the Farm" by Brandon Woodruff. That's good work, Seth.
Yeah.
Seth is on it. Very good. Also, if you want to stay on it, make sure you're managing all your lineups. My Playbook, that's what you need. Manage your fantasy baseball lineups and dominate your leagues with My Playbook from FantasyPros. My Playbook is a powerful suite of tools to help you make better decisions, manage your lineups, and win all your leagues. Import your team today for free and customize your fantasy baseball news, rankings, and analysis. Sync your leagues today at fantasypros.com/MLB My Playbook, or just download the Fantasy Baseball My Playbook app. The kids love the apps, Welsh. You know what else they love?
What do
they love? The best bets
of the day
with Joey P and the Welsh. Look at that transition. So here we go. We're going to run through these bad boys for you. I'm going Juan Soto for the RBI plus 145 against Tony Gonsolin. Juan went yard yesterday. Jac Caglianone, something's going to break for that kid today. I'm manifesting Welsh with this bet today. Total bases over 1.5 plus 130. Let's go. Jackie boy hitting balls at 140 miles an hour everywhere. And give me the first 5 Atlanta with Chris Sale on the mound minus 135. That's your safest investment. Chris Sale's been tremendous this year. Welsh, what do you have for the people on a Wednesday?
Let's go roll over Chicago, Washington under 8.5 total runs. We got Mackenzie Gore on the bump. We got a little bit of Matthew Boyd. We're going to go under runs for that one. Gunnar Henderson over 1.5 on the total basis. So 2 total bases today, I believe, going up against Emerson Hancock and Oneil Cruz. Though the batting average has struggled, I think we get right today. Over 1.5 on the total bases. That is even money. So 2 total base plays and a little bit on the under runs. Those be the best bets of the day.
And of course, go ahead and new customers on FanDuel, bet $5, get $250 in bonus bets if you win at fantasypros.com/leading off. Again, that's fantasypros.com/leading off. And download the Betting Pros app to help you make better bets. Use the promo code leading off there, and guess what you get? You get 7-day free trial of the premium tools from Betting Pros, the best in the business, baby. Go get it. I can't wait to see the home run board today after yesterday's Carroll bombs and Turner bombs.
Gone. See ya.
No.
Yep, I knew it was coming.
Do you want that or you want the sad Home Alone song?
What? Oh yeah, I like the Home Alone. First I didn't know it.
So
filthy animal.
19. Look at George at 28. George is strong. George is like the Sammy Sosa of this contest. By that I mean probably on massive amounts of performance-enhancing drugs. I can only assume. Yeah. The autographed Sammy Sosa jersey up for grabs here. Congratulations to George. Far out at 26, Marty at 23, DJ Osborne 23, Kevmon at 23 also. So, and I'm still stuck. So I don't know who George had yesterday or who had the double dongs, but it's sad to see Welsh off that list. But we got to get you back on there. Now the question is,
we're back. We were gone for like 5 minutes. We should do a whole show where it's just graphics. It'll be like our Brandon Woodruff show.
StreamYard is having some issues with working around, which is why we were a little late yesterday, folks. So that's what's going on here today. So just trying to make do with what they will allow us and not allow us to do.
We should just not have come back, though.
Who gets next to that board, me or Welsh? Everybody, drop your comments below.
I bet you
will. Who gets there? Yeah?
I'm on a horrible.
I'm still behind you though.
Yeah, but like you take Ohtani and Judge, you're gonna roll out.
I'm one behind you, and how many? I'm 2 off the board, so I gotta have a big night. You know what it feels like? Feels like a 1-1 night. Feels like Juan Soto plus 330. Let's go. Taking it to Tony Gonsolin and the Dodgers. How you doing? you doing? Welsh,
Not doing so great.
what do you have?
Not doing as good as you, apparently. I am going to go with said Oneil Cruz, who I talked about a little bit earlier on the total bases. Big flies for big Oneil Cruz going against Ryan Gusto. Two. Give me two. Give me two.
Now, look, I know there's a lot of questions. Let's try to get a couple ones in here because we actually finished on time for a change today, even with all the musical interludes somehow. Let's see. Festa or keep Cade Horton?
Cade Horton.
Okay, here's one from Luceros. Meadows, Cowser, or Barja? How's your Barja?
Ooh.
Yeah. I love gold.
I kind of I want gold. I'll go Meadows. Parker Meadows. Did you see the thing that Mike Myers is like a CIA informant?
What?
Yeah, there's something according to the Diddy files. Yeah, I just saw this. In the Diddy files or whatever, Mike Myers was confirmed as like a CIA informant or something. We found out Austin Powers was a real life agent.
Witness in Diddy trial reveals Mike Myers' CIA request.
Oh, request?
So I don't know. So, but like he was.
Oh yeah, the CIA tour for the Canadian. Oh, is that it?
Yeah, like he asked he requested a tour.
He just wanted to tour the offices. Why is this news out there? I thought he was like an informant.
Well, because he's Austin Powers. You know.
Yeah, baby.
You know what? I actually just over the weekend watched the first one again, which I hadn't seen in a while.
Why did he disappear? He just he's done one. I think he just did Inglourious Bastards. No, but he did Inglourious Bastards in the last like 10 years, and that's like
he's been on SNL all year. He's been popping up there. He's been hanging out in New York doing stuff. You got to realize he's in his like 60s now. Like he's retired. He's got I think probably grandkids at this point. He's like made a ton more money than you could possibly imagine between Shrek and Austin Powers.
Okay, but look at Adam Sandler. He just keeps churning out movies. He's got all the money in the world.
Yeah, and wouldn't we beg him to stop? Have you seen some of the Netflix movies he's turned out?
Oh, I love the serious. I love the serious Adam Sandler.
I'm not talking about the serious ones. I'm talking about the half-ass comedy ones, which have been pretty awful. Now, the Happy Gilmore sequel I'm curious about. I heard a fun story about the Shrek one, which is that they actually, Mike Myers, I guess, they took like minimum to do it because it was like the first one that DreamWorks was doing, an animated movie, whatever, it was like $350,000 or something they paid him. And the movie made $500 million. So the next one, they all negotiated contracts together that they all got $10 million, and they did about 18 hours of work for $10 million.
Did you know that the first Shrek was completely done by Chris Farley? Chris Farley actually voiced Shrek.
I've seen those clips, which is really interesting. A very different take on the character. I wonder what that would have been, like how different of a movie that would have been, just a different
feel would have been probably different. But I'm just like, why he just, I get you have family, you just disappeared.
Well, Rick Moranis did too.
Going to Diddy parties.
Maybe that's what it is. Well, we're going to disappear now, but we will return on our YouTube channel Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern to answer all of your questions. The Q&A live stream on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, drop your comments below, ring the bell till it goes ding. Be there, hang out with us, talk baseball. There's day baseball on today too. Let's all hang out and talk ball. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.
Yeah, baby. Get in my belly. Kind of creepy.